Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you a review for the 2018 action adventure movie Robin Hood the Rebellion. Now then, with the imminent release of the new big budget Robin Hood film that's out in a couple of weeks, I'm not sure when, that to be honest I think looks pretty terrible, but I don't know, it might be okay. We of course get the obligatory lower budget version of a Robin Hood film that's released at the same time. That always tends to happen with movies like this. And this film is directed by Nicholas Winter and it stars Ben Freeman as Robin Hood, and we have Brian Blessed making an appearance as Friar Tuck, and we even get a cameo from Christian Nairn, who played Hodor in Game of Thrones in this movie. And what is this film about? Well, this film focuses obviously on Robin Hood and his band of merry men, although they don't seem very merry in this film. It follows the usual pattern. Robin's come back from the Crusades, the evil Sheriff of Nottingham and Guy of Gisborne are causing havoc in Nottingham, and he's doing his usual, robbing from the rich to feed the poor. In this film, however, we see the first 10 or 15 minutes is set in Sherwood Forest, and pretty much the whole remainder of the rest of the film is within the confines of the Sheriff's castle in Nottingham, because Maid Marian gets kidnapped. So Robin has to stage a daring rescue attempt with two of his friends, two of his bands of merry men. I think, is it John? Yeah, it's John and Will Scarlett. So they go try and rescue Maid Marian, and the rest of the film is them sneaking around the sheriff's castle, trying to figure out where the dungeons are, even though Maid Marian makes her own escape to a certain degree, and there's lots of battles going on, and Sheriff of Nottingham chewing up scenery, charging about being particularly evil, as is Guy of Gisborne. That's kind of the story here with this. There's not really much to say in the story with this film. Now then, guys, what is Robin Hood the Rebellion like? Well, not brilliant, actually. This is pretty low budget stuff. The fight scenes are fairly poorly choreographed, and they don't feel like there's any impact. It feels like they're very, very rehearsed and staged, and they just don't have any sense of impact, the fight scenes. It feels like it's a TV show, pilot for a TV show, this thing. The performances, I think that Ben Freeman playing Robin, I think, does a decent enough job. I quite liked him as Robin Hood. He wasn't too bad. That's probably about the best performance in this film. Everybody else I think is a little bit poor. The guy playing Guy of Gisborne and Sheriff of Nottingham are just, they deserve to be on a pantomime stage. There's someone needs to get hiring them for the Christmas season for pantomimes, because they're just, they play villains, in the really old-fashioned way, like the twirling the moustache thing, and they're really over the top, and it's too much, really. Because of the budget, every time there's any bad guys turn up, they turn up in numbers of like 2 or 3. They don't turn up en masse. So there's like these small battles littered throughout the movie. And you kind of know your film's in trouble when Hodor makes a cameo in the film. He's literally in this film for about a minute, and that's it. And Brian Blessed's in it for about 3 minutes. So the two most notable names in the film are barely in it anyway. But saying all that, guys, I've got to be honest, the film kind of growed on me a little bit. It has a certain amount of charm to it, this film. If you can get over that initial bump of, oh dear, this isn't very good, and give it a bit of time, it does grow on you, this film. Like I say, there is a certain level of charm here. It may well turn out to be better than the big budget one we're going to get in a few weeks, so it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. I thought the costumes are all reasonably good in this film. They all seemed pretty, dirty and gritty and ripped and torn, and they weren't living comfortable lives. You certainly got that impression. And they didn't waste too much time setting up like an origin story for Robin, because we all generally know the story of Robin Hood. He's fairly well established in this film in regards to who he is. It gives you a brief description as the film starts as to where they're at in this story, and it's a story we're all familiar with. Now, the different turn of events here is like the majority of the film is within the confines of the Sheriff of Nottingham's castle. So it does end up feeling a little bit enclosed, and it was surprising really, because they did film some scenes in Nottingham Forest, in Sherwood Forest, sorry, at the beginning of the film, and I thought we were going to be getting more scenes in the forest throughout the film, but no, it's not the case. It's all within the confines of this castle. So I'm going to give this film a 5 out of 10, guys. It's pretty bang average. There's nothing special about it, and it's not. I don't think it's going to blow you away when you watch it. But it's fairly tame, reasonably family friendly, and it's something you can watch and just kind of think, all right, and then forget about it really. So yeah, it was nice to catch up with a Robin Hood film again. I think sometimes these films can take themselves too seriously, like, you know, the Russell Crowe one and things like this, and this one's somewhere a little bit in the middle. Kind of takes itself a little bit seriously now and again, but it tries to be a bit adventurous and fun at times too, and it has a little bit of a sense of humour going on now and again. So yeah, that's Robin Hood the Rebellion, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I shall see you next time on Screen Stars. Thank you for watching, everybody.